Hello everyone, welcome to another video talking geeky stuff with me. And today I want to talk about the alien phenomenon. A few months back I did a similar video about the ninja phenomenon. As you can probably tell, my pronunciation is not the best. So, alien, do you believe? I want to believe. The alien phenomenon has been around for God knows how long. Recently in the last 10, 15 years, in History Channel. Some of you may have watched it. I watched it. I think it's a fantastic TV show. It's 15 seasons, I think, so far. 15, 16 seasons. Ancient Aliens. That kind of brought a lot of alien kind of activities back into the forefront. But even before that, the alien itself, aliens, extraterrestrials, has, like I said, been around our conscious for so long. Conspiracy theories and all of that cool stuff, right? But let's put all that aside, the science, the conspiracy aside, but the impact he has on geek culture, popular culture in general. I mean, take a look at some of the movie industries have made hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars off the alien phenomenon, and that kind of ushered in things like sci-fi, all of that cool stuff. And here, some of my personal favorite alien movies that has an alien. Start off with Aliens, Predator. You can't go wrong with that. Yeah, there are plenty of great movies out there. But here's some of my handpicked ones that I watched recently, and that's probably one of the reasons why I kind of did this. I was watching Alien again, and then Aliens, and then Predator. Like every night I was just bored and I just watched it and I was just thinking. And at the same time, I went to the History Channel and Ancient Aliens was on. And I kind of went, you know what? The alien culture, so to speak, has kind of impacted us. It's part of our culture. You think about it, be it if you believe it or not, it's there and it will continue to be there. And it makes for good fantasy. Until we find out there is actually aliens in the universe, of course, then you can call it reality. But it makes good content to deliver in both audio, visual, comics, games, and so on. And that's what I'm here to talk about. And here are some of my favorite movies that you all should definitely watch. There's plenty more. I just want to squeeze the ones I really enjoy the most, and I watch multiple times every year. And then the actual franchises. Let's think about it. Star Trek, Star Wars. Who remembers back in the mid-90s to the kind of early 2000s how big X-Files was? It was massive, X-Files. I remember it actually it's one of the shows that really put the question to the people, just your public, like, do you believe? I want to believe. And I think there was a poll, like a survey they done back then, and then it was something like that. 70% of people, want to believe and believe that we have been visited by aliens sometimes in the past or even recently, And then Doctor Who, another amazing franchise, which unfortunately in the last few years has kind of dipped down a bit, with some of the writing and choices they kind of went for. I won't go into that too much. There's loads of videos out there on YouTube that talks about the decline of Doctor Who. It's a shame, but there's always the classics that you can always go back and revisit. And of course, the Transformers universe. You don't realize, but apart from being robots, they are actually aliens from Cybertron. So, yeah, and Transformers now inspires how many generations of teenagers, kids, to adults growing up with franchise like the movies, animation, toys, and so on. So these are just some of the franchises. Of course, there's many more out there. But here's some of the picks that I personally like that kind of inspired me through my geeky journey through my life. And video games. I think that video games, I think that anyone who's played, who are, I don't want to say hardcore fans, but anyone who has some interest in gaming in the last 20 plus years has at least played a handful of games that had some sort of alien sci-fi element to it. It's a given, really, right? Here's some of the handpicked ones that I personally enjoy. Halo, of course. It's a battle against us versus the Covenant. I mean, you can't get more aliens than that. Metroid Prime. Um, Hopefully, Metroid Prime 4 will be shown soon, and fingers crossed about the Metroid Prime trilogy HD remake. Should become Dead Space, another great one. Speaking about Dead Space, I'm liking the recent, with that kind of game, what I think a lot of developers kind of doing is kind of like adding aliens, but kind of more demonic. Are they from space or are they from hell? It's a nice mix of that kind of style. I like that. Crisis. Um, if you go back in the day when you played first Crisis, it was like almost like a meme that your PC run Crisis. I remember when I first built my PC back then, and I made sure it could run Crisis, and that game was chewing up whatever component you had in your PC. So that game, I mean, it was a great game. Don't get me wrong. First person shoot 'em up, kind of in the vein of like a little bit of Halo, the Super Suit, and so on. And one of my favorite ones here is it's my favorite Western RPG is Mass Effect. If you haven't played Mass Effect yet, check out the Mass Effect Legendary Edition. They up the graphics, they changed a lot of things, they made it a lot better as well. And another one of my favorites, well, but all my favorites really is Borderlands. Borderlands, tongue-in-cheek, stylized graphics, great dialogue. Yeah, they go to Pandora. Technically, it's an alien planet, so there you have it. So these are some games I would definitely recommend. There's many, many more out there. So let me know which one you think is your favorite and which one you're looking forward to. I'm looking forward to the new Metroid Prime 4, hopefully coming soon. Hopefully maybe next year we get like a direct about that. And then you can't escape it without some anime. I mean, there's plenty more out there. I just handpicked a few that, like I said, are personal. Let's start with one of the biggest anime franchises of all time, Dragon Ball. I mean, if you go back to the original Dragon Ball, they kind of showed Goku was an alien. They didn't really say he was an alien, or you kind of guessed. And then in Dragon Ball Z, where his backstory and other characters got flushed out, you found that Piccolo's an alien, Goku alien. They got to Planet Namek. You got Frieza. So a lot of the characters that introduced were aliens, and yeah, and that is to this day. And then of course with Dragon Ball Super, the Super Tournament. Tournament of Power, they're fighting aliens or different versions of themselves in a different universe. So there you go, the biggest franchise in anime history, probably I would say, hands down, is an alien kind of anime. And Tenchi Muyo, a lot of people don't know, that's another one of my favorites. If you haven't seen it, it's a really fun kind of romantic, kind of a little bit of action, intergalactical romance anime. Tenchi Muyo finds out his dad's an alien, doesn't age, so he puts on a disguise that it makes him look older, and he finds out that he was going to get married to his dad's race, the princess. And then you have all these other characters coming in, and there's like a little love triangle, so that's pretty fun. And then one of my other favorites back in the early 80s is, okay, I'm going to try to pronounce it, Yurushu Yatsura. I know they recently have done a brand new one. I haven't seen it yet. There's only a few episodes come out, and by Rumiko Takahashi, a female manga artist, author, amazing artist. She did like Ranma Half, did this, and a few other great anime. Back in the early 80s, I used to watch that. It's kind of romantic comedy. It's more of a comedy, to be honest with you, more of a comedy than a romantic kind of thing. And yeah, it's funny. I recently rewatched it. It's actually made me laugh again. So if you haven't seen that, I'll definitely check it out. The animation has, I wouldn't say it's dated, because it has that kind of art style that kind of suits that time. It kind of suits that time. So it doesn't, in my opinion, it doesn't look like it's aged much. Yeah, and then you got comics. I mean, where else can you find alien extraterrestrial influence than comics itself? I mean, one of the most famous and most popular superhero on the planet, Superman, is an alien from planet Krypton. And Venom, the symbiote, was from an alien. Technically, if you think about it, Thor, he's a god, but from a scientific point of view, he's from Asgardia, another planet. So an alien slash god, I would say. So Marvel Comics, DC Comics, Dark Horse Comics, any comics. I mean, you can't get better than like intergalactical invasion, save the universe, like from Thanos, from Darkseid. There's many more. I mean, Guardian of the Galaxy recently, apart from then again, even the main character is kind of half alien. So there you go, Silver Surfer, alien again. So amazing characters that has, of course, Earth human looks, human traits, human emotion, but with alien DNA and alien backstory. So if you haven't been into comics, I know that comics in the last few years has declined a lot with all the the woke writers writing their own agendas and so on. In a way, I kind of stopped reading some comics, so I kind of go back to some of the classics a lot more now. It's a shame, really. The sales are gone. I hope that some studio executive is really coming in and saying, look, man, we can't carry on like this. You need to make good quality stuff that's entertaining. Forget about trying to lecture the people about what you need to do and what you need to believe in. Enough of that stuff, because comics is like a gateway for escapism, right? You don't want to hear what's happening in the world. We know what's happening in the world. Just switch on the TV, and there's news broadcasts every day. What's the doom and gloom around the world? We just want escapism. We want to read about gods, monsters, demons, devils, aliens, intergalactical beings, and cosmic beings. That's what we want to read about. So I really hope someone will really look into it and say, hey guys, stop this. Let's go back to what made comics good and continue. Here's my hope anyway. And the questionable. As I mentioned earlier, this meme here is his name is Giorgio Tsoukalos. Hope I pronounced it right. He's one of the producers and the host for Ancient Aliens, a TV show that is on History Channel. And yeah, 15, 16 seasons now, and I remember watching it back in the day. And the funny thing was, some of their arguments, I was actually going, well, you know what, it could be true. It could be true. And then there was actually something on YouTube, a 3-hour documentation by someone called Chris White, called Debunking Ancient Aliens. Check that video as well. It's really good because it debunks everything they say. When there's a real scientist, archaeologist, academic who kind of argues, they make more sense. Because the more you watch them, I just watch them because I think it's funny, I think it's entertaining, and at the same time, I'm not dismissing everything they say, because there are a lot of things that we just don't know. Even the scientists and archaeologists just don't know. Engineers, the best structural engineers out there, just don't know how this was made 10,000 years ago, for example. So that still fascinates me. I think a lot of that stuff fascinates every human beings in general, because the things we don't know, we are very intrigued about these things, and that's why I watch Ancient Aliens. I think it's fun, entertaining, and we just don't have all the answers. Well, anyway, let me know. Do you believe? I want to believe. I believe the universe is too big. It has to be something out there. Have they come and visited us? Have they come to our planet since humanity? I don't know. We really don't know. There's no evidence to support that. But hey, I would love fantasy that there is a high being out there who's looking over us. You can call them gods or aliens. But I do believe aliens do exist in this vast universe. We're just yet to come in contact. Well, anyway, let me know what you think. Until next time, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Until next time, please stay safe. Goodbye.